catch 'em all.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another tutorial video. Today's video we are going to cover the differences between Beacon and the Pro version Beacon Omni and tell you how that can help improve your ARC server. Buck Nation Gaming back with another video and another way to show you how to make your server the best it can absolutely be. In today's video, as promised in the previous video, we do have 2 free passes to that Beacon Omni for 2 lucky subscribers of the channel. Now, if you don't end up getting one of those codes and being the winner of the giveaway, the other way to get it is to pay for Beacon Omni. If you pay for Beacon Omni just flat out by itself is $15. It's a one-time payment, and then after that you own it for the remainder of your ARC livelihood. That's the main thing that I use it with is ARC. So $15, not a bad deal for something that'll make your coding life very, very easy. And I want to show you, like I said, the differences between having Beacon and Beacon Omni. So when you go back to Beacon and look at the differences, we're just going to go over what you get with the regular version first, and then I'll show you what you get with the Pro version for $15. The regular version is free to use, but you're limited to what you can change on your server. So with both versions, you're going to be able to change loot drops, to modify them to put in exactly what you want each color drop to give, and then you got the bonus drops and the cave drops as well. You can change all of that, including beaver dams and giant beaver dens. You can change that as well with this feature on the free version and the Pro version. Nitrado server control, to where it'll basically partner with your Nitrado server, and everything you change on Beacon or Beacon Omni, either or, will go ahead and override your Nitrado settings, and that way you're just working off of one program to get the server to do everything you need it to do, instead of basically using like local files plus the Beacon app combined. You know what I mean? It's easier to do the Nitrado way, in my opinion, than it is the local app or the host/local method. FTP upload and download. Beacon can use FTP edit to edit your game any and game user any files right onto the server. That kind of goes back into what I was saying about with your Nitrado server control. Like that, the Beacon any, the game any and the game user settings any files are the main files of your server that have them coded to your preference, basically. Download community Beacon files. You can do that with both. That's just where Beacon will give you Beacon will give you a community where, like, if they upload their files for you to make things easier, you can go in there and get started with some custom loot easier. Create community Beacon files. If you want to create them, you can get that on the free or Pro version. Breeding multipliers. You can adjust all of that with both versions. Day and night cycle. Pretty self-explanatory there. Player and creature stat multipliers and item stat limits. The player and creature stat multipliers, that changes the stats of players, wild creatures, and tames. Item stat limits globally limits item stats to precise admin defined amounts, just like official servers. So you can actually boost that as well, or put it to where it's like official, up to you. Now, if you purchase for, like I said, that one low rate of $15, if you purchase Beacon Omni and unlock it for the remainder of your account, you'll have crafting costs where you can like make stuff a little bit easier craft. If you want to easy craft, fiber craft, custom craft, demo craft, whatever have a type of ARC server, that's how you change that, is through Beacon Omni. It's the easiest method to change that out of every other method I've ever even heard of. Same thing with player and tame experience. If you want to give your ARC character more levels, or if you want to give your tames more levels, need the Omni version. not the regular version to do that. Stack sizes, I know that this is one of the things my server loves about the us having Omni, is and they've liked it from day one, is the fact that we can put stack sizes of any item to anything that we want, and it will stack. Harvest rates, that's how you change if you want it to be a 5 times harvesting server, 25 times, 1 times, whatever you want it to be, 100 times, anything you want it to be. Need the Pro version, Beacon Omni, for that as well. Creature adjustments, like if you want to adjust where creatures, what creatures are in what maps, basically. So if you want to take out a few what you would say useless dinos that nobody would hardly use, like the Listro or maybe the Moss Chop, something like that. I know a lot of people, like myself, we take out Brontos, so it doesn't make it so hectic on people pinging out the server with Bronto harvesting. You do that with the creature adjustments. Creature spawn points allows you to put whatever dinos you want in. Creature adjustments will allow you to basically change out like creatures that are in game, like that come vanilla. Creature spawn points will let you basically add, remove, or change whatever kind of dino you want anywhere you want to go with it. More config types coming on the way, basically is the last option for both of them. Now I want to get into basically some old files that I found for my Who's Alpha server. This was back when it was the Who's Alpha 24/7 PvP cluster, and now that we're up to like Who's Alpha 8 map cluster, something like that. So this is some old files. Just wanted to go over those to show you. So the first thing you'll unlock, I'll show you the first couple with the free version and what you need more in depth to get with the Beacon Omni, which was the ones on the right side all the way down. So we'll pull that to that side, get it back out of the way, and I'll show you. So like with drops, white drops are your like regular white drops of File of Sky. White island white bonus, this is going to be your white with a ring. So the way I have it set up in my server is you have white drops with flak, grapples, long neck rifle, Pteranodon saddle, and tools. So basically, I call this the starter drop. I had to go in and code all of this in using Beacon, basically, and Nitrato to partner in. So what you would do if you wanted to add something else to white drops, you would just change, let's say if we wanted to add, I don't know, element. That's one that a lot of people go after to put. I would hope you're not putting it in a white drop, but I have been on boosted servers where I've saw that a bunch of times. One thing you're going to need to make sure you're going to do is make sure if you have 6 items here, these are marked 6 out of 6, and prevent duplicates, because if not, it will not give you each item in the drop. Go back to element. Same thing right here. We're going to have a minimum entry of 1 and a max of 1, so that way it doesn't give you any more or any less than what we're wanting it to give. If we can speak English today. You'll just type in element, you'll click on it, get rid of the blueprint, of course, because there's no element blueprint. Then how many do you want to give them? Let's say if you wanted to give them 100, which would be ridiculous, so we'll actually say 25. Or if you wanted to say at least 25, but no more than 28. You would put 25 as the minimum quality, 28 as the maximum quality, and then you'll hit OK. That's going to come in the drop along with these things now. And if you wanted to take, let's say, some tools out, let's say if you want to take the glider suit out, because a lot of people just weren't using it, it was getting in the way, you just right click on it and you would go to delete, and that gets rid of it. Now if you do this to these drops and you already have other drops spawned in like I do, you would want to go ahead and delete this one, click on the white drop that you put the element in, you're going to copy it, and then you would choose any white drop that you would need to put back into the game, basically. And there you see it, elements now in the scorched white and the island white. Same thing with bosses. Let's go ahead and like show you these down here. Take these out, we'll delete the easy one. Okay, so for bosses at this time we were giving out 500 advanced rifle bullets. This is each boss, by the way, so if you go to a boss that would spawn 2 of them in, then you would get double the rewards, or even if it had 3, you'd get triple. It came with 2 blueprints guaranteed for easy boss out of each one, and 100 element. We were way past that now. You definitely get a lot better rewards on my server than all of that. But like I said, this was starting out when I was still pretty fresh. So if I wanted to basically set that up to where I could copy that in for my other bosses, you would just scroll down and find the boss that you need. Broodmother Easy the Island. Hit next, hit done, And there you go. You see there's 3 out of 3 items here, and each one of these will have how much it wants to give. Prevent duplicates means you'll get 2 of each, or 2 random ones each time you take a boss out. It'll randomize the 2 that you get for there. And the last one being like the beaver dens and beaver dams. Same way with those as it was with the drops. And then like the white with the bonus, I'll just show you it real quick. We give out veggie cakes, that's in-game currency. You get all different types of meat and some kibble. We've definitely boosted a lot of that since then as well. And if you ever wanted to change the values of these, you just go in, change the value, hit OK, and you are going to start getting that after you hit this make config changes live. Once you push that, I call that the export button. Once you export that into your server, it'll shut your servers down, restart them with the new files. So that's how you change out loot drops. If you want to change up breeding multipliers, this is the tab you would click on. You would basically set your mature speed multiplier to what you want it to be. Greater than 1 matures faster. Less than 1 is going to make it mature slower. I put it on 100 times so that way that it's basically instant on my server, and not all of these settings are still the same as they were. The only thing I did notice about changing the stats of these, and you'll just have to like fool around with them, because once you change one thing, it changes everything. So like if I wanted to knock imprint period multiplier and make these different, either imprint more or less to get a full imprint from, let's say, from 0.025, if I wanted to change it to 0.028. The difference that you would see is, let's go down to Giga. I know that's one of the best ones to show. See how it's 12 imprints? 0.28 is 12 imprints. Back on 0.25, it's actually 0.25. 14 imprints to get it to a full imprint. But when you change that from 14, you see some of these that say 2 imprints. When you change that, watch this, 0.028. Now some of these that needed 2 are different numbers. So once you change one, you change them all basically. And to give you one more example, see how the one above it, the gas bags, was 2 with the 0.025. With the 8, actually it's still 2. Let's see which one changes. I see them changing. Maybe not. Other than the Giga. Okay, let's do this. 0.03. If we change it to 0.03, you see how the gas bags changes to 1? So you got to be careful changing that imprint multiplier, because from 11, which is where that's at now for the Giga, back to the 14, see that changed 3, but this changed this one 1 to where they only got to imprint it 1 time. And I like to leave it on my server to where they can't just like hatch something, let it get an imprint on it, and then they can take off and forget about it. And if they come back, as long as it's not fully mature, just hit it one more time and boom, you're done. Like, that's not the way it works with the more OP, like, bigger dinos. The bigger dinos, like the Gigas, the Quetzals, stuff like that, they're going to take a longer time to get that imprint and get that dino bred up, just so you can't kind of cheat the system. But that's how you change your breeding multipliers, and I'll just go over each of them real quick. Mature speed multiplier, like I say, greater than 1 matures faster, less than 1 matures slower. Incubation speed timer, greater than 1 incubates faster, less than 1 slower. Most of these are self-explanatory. Egg lay period multiplier, do you want it to produce more eggs or less? Baby food consumption, do you want it to eat or, more or less? Mating speed, do you want them to mate faster? Do you want them to mate slower? I got that at 15 times. Imprint period multiplier determines, that's the one we were changing, determines how many imprints it's going to take before they get a full 100% imprint. Imprint stat scale multiplier, each time you imprint it, how much does the stats get boosted? And on our server, I think now we're at 3.4 on that, just to give people a better reward for waiting that long to get those Gigas and those larger ones. Let's see. Imprint grace period multiplier. Greater than 1 increases time before decay. That's before the imprint boost actually starts dropping. Imprint loss speed multiplier reduces the imprint decay as well. This one this one reduces the imprint decay. This one increases the time before the decay. Mating interval multiplier determines how long they can mate or how quick. I've got it at 0.1 on my server to make it to where gigas are about an hour and a half before they can breed again. And that's pretty good in my opinion for my server and whole. So that's breeding multipliers. Next thing we're going to go over is, I want to stick to the free ones you get first. So, excuse me. Let's do item stat limits. So with item stat limits, this is basically, one thing I can tell you to never, ever, ever do is set this generic quality on. I did that one time for like a whole month on my server, didn't know how to turn it off. Nobody showed me how to turn it off. But basically, what it did to my server was no matter how high your crafting skill was, you were never going to craft over the max of what that blueprint was. So if you turn this on, generic quality, whatever that blueprint number is, that's what you're going to craft no matter what your crafting skill is. And then the rest of the stuff down here is just things you can alter and adjust, like the armor, durability, damage, the hypothermia, and durability. I know I already said durability. Let's see, hypothermal, hypothermal, hyperthermal, weight, there it is. Weight was the other one I was thinking of. And then also ammo. You can change ammo stats to only limit them to so much if you want to. I don't really mess with any of this on my server personally. I just kind of leave it as is. If that's vanilla, that's the way if that's the way they put it base, that's the way it is on my server. Next thing that we're going to go over is player and creature stat multipliers. This is another thing you can change, but again, whatever you change for one, you change for all. So with like the preview creature here, you can pick whatever you want to change. But when you change like a shine horn, it's also going to, like that same type of percentage on a much larger scale, change the giga or change the rex. So be careful with what you change there. Same thing with players and the stats. Whatever you change right here, this is what people are going to have when they first start leveling up their characters. So if you have this set like I do, if you want that infinite weight, you obviously want to give them 1,000,000 weight off of one pump is what that sets that to. So that's the player and creature stat multiplier. Let's do day and night cycle just so you can see how it works. And a lot of this stuff, I'm not, a pro at it. I've just kind of altered with it until people on my server all came to an agreement and was like, yeah, man, that's looking pretty good. So daytime speed I've got at 0.2, which gives 206.92 minutes on average of daytime. 1.25 for nighttime, which is 14.89 minutes. For the full cycle to be 221 minutes and 81 seconds. So the way that works with the aberration seasons is on AB, days ending in 0, 1, 2, and 3 are going to get 20.19 minutes of nighttime. Days ending in 4, 5, or 6 are going to get 4.48. They're not going to see the night as much. And then days ending in 7, 8, 9 is going to see at the most 40.4 minutes of solid nighttime in game to play, and that gives them a chance to go up on the surface and be able to hit those surface drops in aberration. Next one that we're going to go over, and I think this is going to be one of the main last ones that we're going to talk about, is custom config. I do know I left one out there with the FTP upload and download. No. I know I left one out there with the download community Beacon files, but I've never messed with that before, so I'm not going to go over that too much. But basically, this is what Beacon does. They go and get all these codes for you, and they import them into your server by all the stat changes we just made. They turn all of that into any files and put them in the order and setup they need to be in. Now, there has been a few times, I will admit, that I've had to go out and look up other stats and stuff, or other codes, and just basically come down here, hit enter, and go down to this line and just import it in. Basically copy and paste, just like that, and then put whatever the code is. I've done that for a few different things that I wanted to adjust myself that I couldn't find the code for or the adjustment for in Beacon or Omni. But I don't suggest, if you don't know what you're doing, don't do that, because that could cause you some problems and stuff. But definitely don't want to give out like too much info on here, just because I worked really hard on like getting all this stuff to the precise setup that I wanted, and I don't want to give up all of my files. So that's why I'm not switching over to the game any, but it's basically the same as the game user settings, just more in-depth files for the game specs and not the user setting specs. So another thing I want to go over that's very, very, very important with Omni alone, you do not get this with the free version, you only get it with Omni, the paid version, is crafting costs. And crafting cost is basically like gunpowder. Let me find it real quick. If you want to make gunpowder just cost spark powder, you're going to need this, you're going to need Beacon Omni. So go ahead and upgrade to Beacon Omni so you can make these adjustments and change whatever you want the crafting cost to be of whatever items in game you want to cost more or less of something. Same thing with things you don't like in the game. If you want to take them out, just make them so ridiculous to craft that nobody can craft it, and that's a way to get rid of it. That's what people used to do back in the day with the beds and stuff when people were meshing, but now I'll show you another cool thing on here. Another major factor of getting Beacon Omni is the stack sizes that you can put stuff to. So you see a lot of stuff here at 10K. And basically the way you change it out, if you wanted something like auto turrets to stack to more than 100, just double click right there, put in what you want it to, whether if you want 1,000, you can change that to 5,000 if you'd like, and then you just click down here, and like I said, when you're done with all of your settings and everything you've wanted coded, you want to put it in your server, you'll just hit click that button, because it'll pop up IP addresses and stuff that I don't want put out there basically. So other than stack sizes, you see like maps, you can pick which maps you want to have in. We now have Genesis as well, and Crystal Isles will be here as soon as it releases onto console. Difficulty, you can change your maximum creature level. We have ours now at 420 instead of 360. So you can change all of these different things through Beacon Omni. Now, one thing that we definitely promised at the beginning of the video, and we're going to go over that part now, is the 2 Beacon Omni codes that we have to 2 lucky subscribers of the channel. So all you're going to have to do to be able to win one of these 2 free Beacon Omni codes, and this is essentially the $15 product for free if you're one of the 2 recipients, is you'll have to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and 72 hours from 8 p.m. Eastern, or I'm sorry, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time today. Today is June 18th, 2020. So 72 hours from 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will go over the winner of the 2 winners. I will just announce their name and the next video when we reveal the winner of the 2 Beacon Omni gift codes. Beacon was really nice when I contacted them and asked them if it was okay if I could do a video on showing people how to use Beacon and use Beacon Omni. And if I didn't answer any of your questions in this video and you got other questions, feel free to leave that in the comment section below. But they said as long as I was, showing correct information and everything, they were cool with it. Offered me these 2 free codes to give out to somebody, to 2 lucky subscribers, and I want to utilize that to my abilities and give those out to 2 people. So if everybody hits that like button, subscribes to the channel, you'll be entered in the giveaway. And like I said, we'll be announcing that in 3 days from now, which is 72 hours from 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So it'll start the 18th and it'll end the 21st. We will put up a video around 5 p.m. on Eastern Standard Time on June 21st announcing the 2 winners. And then the 2 winners will just have to get with me. I will put put a link up in my Discord, and they'll just have to get up with me in Discord and be able to get that free Beacon Omni. Now, I do want to suggest, like, if you go to be in this giveaway, if you don't plan on running an ARC server or don't plan on being able to, you know, make any changes to ARC servers for anything, you're not going to want this Beacon Omni free edition of Beacon Omni, just because it's not going to do you any good. It's mainly used just for ARC Survival Evolved, on changing out the stats and drops and stuff like that in there. So if you're not planning on like hosting an ARC server, I would suggest not even like trying to attempt in the video. This is kind of like the one time I want to say, hey, don't give this video a like if you don't want to host your own server, because I want somebody to win it that's going to be able to actually use it. I don't want to like give it out to somebody that's just going to waste it, because it was really nice for Beacon to give 2 of these out, and it's basically a way I can help 2 people save 15 bucks. So anyways, definitely don't want you to dislike, so definitely don't do that either. But if you absolutely just can't resist and you want to hit the like button, go right ahead. It is going to be a random computer randomizer that randoms all of the names of everybody that likes the video and that's subscribed to the channel. So definitely, if you can do those things for me, that will get you entered into the giveaway. Hope you guys like this video. That's going to basically wrap it up for us. I wanted to go over everything on here that was the main important features. I'm also going to do some more in-depth, but I need to figure out a way that I'm not going to leak my server's information before I could show you 1 or 2 of these other ones that aren't essentially important of getting your stuff changed. They're basically just going to make sure everything runs smoothly for you. But we'll go over that as soon as I figure a way of getting rid of my files and just having some base files in there. Once I figure that out, I'll get that video up. Hope you guys like this video. Hope you subscribe, so you'll definitely be in that chance for that giveaway. To, like I said, 2 lucky subscribers who like this video will get their version of Beacon Omni for free if they don't already have it. And we have 2 gift codes that was given to us by Beacon to give out. So I hope you guys enjoy. I hope you stay awesome, stay amazing, and I'll catch you next video.